as we know, it's election fever. Not Singapore election, but US election. And I'm not going to tell you who I'm supporting, whether is it Donald Trump or Joe Biden, right? But this election has become a very interesting talking point and conversation starter for me, at least. 2 days ago, I was in a cafe in the morning, and then the lady serving me was really very grumpy. Don't know what happened to her, And when I was making the payment, I just asked her before I pass her the money. It's like, you don't tell me I don't pass you the money, So I said, Trump or Biden. She stopped for a while. I think it shocked her for a while. Then after that, her countenance changed, Right? She started, smiling, and then we had quite a conversation. But okay, so the first question I have for Alan today is relating to this. And after we talk about this, Alan is going to pivot into a case study related to estate planning. But Alan, what is the impact of the US election on us as a country, as a people, particularly in our context as financial planners, right? What is the implication? So I think it's a good thing to talk about, because then financial advisors would then be better positioned to carry this topic with their clients and advise their clients.
Okay, Ken.
Alan, over
thanks.
to you, Alan.
Okay, thanks, Samuel, for inviting me again to this conversation. All right. Now, I think to as we are talking now, the votes in United States are still counting. It can be either way. Of course, based on as of now, Biden is leading, but it can still go either way. No. But I think let's put in the larger picture, whether Donald Trump or Biden, they call it, right? There will be some implication to Singapore. But as a financial advisor, what are the learning points that we can have? How do we prepare the client, most importantly? Now, before I delve further, just give you some perspective. All right. Now, Singapore is a very open economy. Singapore depends on trade for survival, trading for survival. All right. You just ask yourself one question. All right. You go to Singapore, NTUC or Cold Storage, the food section, you walk one round and then you come out. You go and do a research. How many goods are actually imported from other countries? How many of that goods that you see, especially food, is produced in Singapore, made in Singapore. It can be canned food, it can be sardine, it can be bread or whatever. You just walk one round. You will find that 90% of it is imported. So Singapore rely on trade, you see. Now, as a result, who are the largest trading partner that Singapore have? Now, based on data, I'll show you some data. The largest trading partner, trading country that Singapore have is actually China. Already Singapore trade is China. Based on data, it's 51.6 US billion. All right, this one I believe is the data as of 5th April 2020. I got it from the internet.
Okay, April.
The second one is Hong Kong, 44 billion. Third one, 41 billion come from Malaysia because of our historical roots and because of the geographical closeness. Most of our food actually come from Malaysia. Now, United States came in fourth, 34.4 billion. Oh, that's a lot. Now, you might say, hey, Alan, come, data show you what United States is on the fourth. Why are we so perturbed by it? Now, next, bring us to the next understanding. United States is a huge country. United States still leads the world in terms of financial system, especially currency. United States still leads the world in terms of defense. To a large extent, still leads the world in terms of research and development. In the area of technology, in the area of pharmaceutical. All right. So it is one country that really affects us. Now, as I mentioned, Singapore relies on trade. As a result, whoever become the president of United States, one of the key factors is that as a Singaporean side, when we observe this new president or the existing president get re-elected again, is that what is his attitude towards trade with other countries, you see.
I see.
Trade. So if this president is anti-trade or he don't like trade with other countries, he wanted to give as many things to his own people as possible, which is nothing wrong, no. All right.
But that is the case of Donald Trump, right?
Yes, correct.
He pulled out of the trade treaties and all that. Yeah.
Let me tell you what's the implication of trade and contracts. Now, Samuel, could you put me a co-host so that I can do a share screen?
Yeah, oh sure.
I come to the next figure.
Yeah, please carry on. Yeah.
Come on. Am I? Please put me the co-host so that I can do a share screen.
Okay, I thought I've enabled that already.
Enable me.
Yeah, enable. You can share screen already.
Okay, enable. Let me just
Mm.
do a share screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, are you able to see? Now, these are actual data lah. Got 2020 as of now, January to September. You can see, United States trade goods with Singapore. All right. The amount of import export. This one is from the United States position. You can see from there. The number is in terms of millions. So when you see 2352, the export is 2352 is 20 billion. 20 billion. In 2019 is how much is 31 billion. All right. That's the figure that we're talking about. But at the financial aspects, this is where things can get a little bit interesting. And as financial advisor, we need to know. Let's take a look at how our national reserve is being managed, and that will have implication on currency, and that have implication on your expected return on the underlying assets that you advise to your client. Okay, take a look at this part here. Now, these are all public data. You can go on to GIC, which is one of the best websites that I always encourage financial advisor to put it on their bookmark on their iPad and read it constantly and put emotional prejudice aside. All right. Now, GIC managers the data is never been published because it's top secret. All right, but it estimated about maybe 500 billion. Now, to manage an asset under management for 500 billion is very different if you manage an ILP policy $5,000. Okay, so we have to respect GIC, whether you like it or not. Got to respect it. Now, you take a look at this the amount of this portfolio allocation that GIC is having. Now, mind you, what is the purpose of GIC? They are investing our reserve. Now, as financial advisor, you got to begin to understand why this reserve is so important. All right. This reserve is to back up your currency, how stable your currency is. All right. Before then we talk about this reserve take out, go for your all the benefit, healthcare benefit, retirement benefit, housing benefit, whatever benefit you think of, you want to have it. Singapore is an open economy, got no natural resources. The only way to survive is the reserve. The reserve is to do what? Is to back up the currency so that we can go to the international market to purchase food, to purchase energy, to purchase water, or to purchase medicine. Now we take a look at this portfolio asset allocation. 20 to 30% is in developed market equities.
Okay.
Okay, what do you think the developed market equity come from? Most of them come from. It's actually United States, most of them. So you might say that, hey, Alan, okay, you show the data, 20, 30% only, that means 70% is out. Yes, mind you, 70% is out. I just want to counter ask the audience as a financial advisor. What do you think is a currency that is being used for investments in emerging market equity, in your inflation-linked bonds, in your private equity, in your real estate, say in Brazil, Argentina, or China. So you buy real estate, Australia. Your private equity, say you have some sort of a contract with some counterparty in, say, Switzerland. What do you think is a currency? Sing dollars? US dollars? Yes. Not 100% US dollar, but we can be sure primarily is in US dollar. That's a fact, no? So therefore, United States dollar, you can see as a currency is in trend in this deep portfolio, number one. And number two, in terms of US president. Now, when we say investments, the entire GIC portfolio is invested out of Singapore. When we say investment, is a very simple term, we just say. But as financial advisor, you need to understand, come to the crux of the situation when I say investment means what? Means I am entering into a contract with a counterparty. This counterparty can be in US, this counterparty can be in Brazil, this counterparty can be in Taiwan or China. Now, because our conversation in US, then therefore I just want to highlight to you, let's focus on US. If my investment, my counterparty is in United States and is formalized by a contract, you do not want to come to a situation in which you have a leader in this country called United States unilaterally overturn some of the contracts or agreement that you already signed with them. So if that thing actually happen, you will find that problem. Whatever investment you can say on your balance sheet, actually might not come into fruition or might go into drop in tremendous in terms of value. Then you will have a problem in this asset allocation. No, I'm not going to frighten anybody. You want to go to the world on investment, it's like that. You can't just assume the whole world is like Singapore, so safe. You go to the bank, you press a button, everything just, like everything will happen. You press A will happen. We're talking about international investments, no. That's a situation. You do not want to have a president that come inside and overturn some of the agreement and treaty, in which can be done, no, because
it's happened during
yes.
Yes.
Yes. As you are talking with Samuel, we are talking about the Ant Financial IPO in China. You take a look. Now, Alibaba, Jack Ma, Ant Financial, they filed Alibaba, they spun off Alibaba. All right. The day before it's supposed to list in the stock exchange, the China government stopped it, no. As a result, they have to return back all the tremendous amount of money back to their investor. And if you want to go and list, I think $100 billion or whatever company on the list stock exchange, you incur a lot of costs, no. So right now, overnight, you say can't get listed because of political reason, interject, and then you got to stop the whole thing. The cost you incur, can you claw back? You can't.
All spent.
The same thing can happen. So therefore, when we take a look at the United States election, we observe. But at the same time, we have to, as a financial advisor, have some geopolitical awareness. And the world is going to become very uncertain. Now, whoever come on the part with US president, all right, the relationship, his perceived relationship with China, and then his perceived welcomeness of trade with the rest of the world, particular Southeast Asia country.
Because in the between the two parties in the US, there's always a lot of fighting, right? Not all policies get bipartisan support, right? One of the things that happened in the last 4 years is whether you like Donald Trump or not, right? If you are a US citizen, that's out of the fence.
Yes, correct.
It awakened, the China reality, right, to everyone over there, and not just in the US, but all their allies also, right, in Europe, right, Australia, and they are able to get bipartisan support as far as this part is concerned. So the next question, of course, is that whether Biden or Trump wins, right? One thing is quite sure, you're going to see the way they treat China is not going to be the same, right, from 5-10 years ago. Okay,
correct.
So how does that flow to Singapore in terms of
correct. But it's still too early to say. In order to judge a senior leader in that kind of country, you need to let him settle down 1-2 years down the road. You can't just judge based on whoever win on that day, because sometimes his attitude might change. His attitude might change,
and I think that adds on to the complexity in terms of the instability that you're talking about.
Yes, of course.
But a lot of talk that because Biden, because of his age, he might not be there for the 4 years, right? Maybe after 2 years, Kamala might become the president, right? The first,
possible.
We don't know too much about her, right? Again, that all adds up to the instability. Right?
Yes. Now, all these things points out to what? I think we are increasing going to a very uncertain world. The uncertain world is how long the time duration, 10-20 years. The next 10-15 years is going to be very uncertain. Therefore, as financial advisor, we have to prepare our client. Some of the assumption in our calculations for retirement funds planning, for how much insurance capital you need to leave behind for your surviving spouse. All right. Now, the rate of return that you input into your computation, like return from equity, return from bond, and whatsoever, you need to taper down a little bit. All right. Use a smaller percentage to calculate the how much capital a person's need in order for him to last for the next 20-30 years. Rather than still keep it intact, use 6%, 7%, some even 5%. That kind of thing.
Translate to that amount of capital you require.
Yes, of course.
A
Of
lot
course,
higher, right?
yes, that is financial planning methodology, ma. There's a
Yeah.
financial planning methodology, ma. I believe, as one of the things you need to do, after COVID-19 that happened as a financial advisor, that you have to all go back to your client, tell them that they have to taper down their retirement fund target, no.
In terms
Because,
of the rate of
yes,
return,
yeah,
the
of course,
calculation, right?
yes,
We say taper
yes,
down. That means, yeah,
yeah, taper
it
down, meaning
means
to,
you require more capital, higher capital, right? In
yes,
that
means
sense,
you require
the
higher
requirement becomes higher.
capital, or your retirement goal need to lower down.
Mm,
Oh, you have to extend your expected retirement age. Meaning to say that,
mm.
say I got 15 more years to 65. Maybe I
Retire
say that,
2 years
okay,
later or 3 years
instead of
later.
65, it's 67 now.
Yep, yep.
Because I need more time to accumulate.
Mm,
And I must be prepared that to lower down my retirement goals. Maybe if it
mm,
lower down the goal means I have a lower standard of living, perceived lower standard of living, so be it, Lord. That's a fact.
mm.
That's why in our previous interview, I show you the slides about the trends that we have. One of the
Yeah.
one of the trends that we monitor it very closely is
Mm,
the bond yield, the rate of
mm,
bond yield, and
mm,
Singapore government bond yield and
mm,
also the return from equity in this based on the Singapore situation, also based on the global situation. All right,
mm,
as well as inflation rate. Those are the technical stuff that will impact your calculations that you need to prepare your client.
Okay.
All right, rather than just a very simplistic way of you sell one policy
Yep.
in 2018 is based on that assumption, and that assumption is still valid today.
Yep.
And the United States situation boils down to more uncertainty in the world.
Yep.
More uncertainty in the world.
But
Right.
there again, I think again to highlight right the importance of keeping up with all these conversations in a real time way, right?
Yes, of course.
Now just now you talk about retirement, okay? In fact, I went through fact finding process actually.
Yes.
I'll talk more about that, right?
Correct.
And it is an AI that gave recommendation actually. That's quite interesting, right? I'll dig into this a little bit more later.
Okay.
One of the recommendations is like what you mentioned, right? Work. That means delay your retirement, right? What that means is that, like you said, you work maybe another 2 years. The recommendation given to me was to delay by 2 years. Okay. The other recommendation, of course, is to lower my current monthly expenditure. Am I right? Now, so I can save
yes,
more,
correct.
right?
Yes, correct.
Now, no rocket science here, okay? But what is uncertain is this, right? We do not know what kind of work is going to be, right? When I reach, let's say, 65. We can now say, work another 2 years. But what is the state of work? It's not the same as today, right?
Correct.
Can we find work or not?
That's a problem. Hey, come on. Yes. That's a very interesting question. In fact, that's what keeps me awake in the night.
Me too.
Just interestingly, last night in Singapore, over in Singapore, I was having a working dinner together with SUSS professor and his master student. So why am I involved in that particular working dinner? Because the master student wanted to do a research project, and then the professor recommended her to do the insurance industry. The title is InsurTech. InsurTech. Will technology replace advisor? She's going to do interview with financial advisor.
That's a very big question.
That's the part. So therefore,
for me,
yes. Therefore, that tells me that will the technology actually replace a financial advisor? Then what is the work of a financial advisor?
Absolutely.
But I throw it very bluntly, technology, the accent of it, we should make it to enable an advisor, not to replace an advisor. Enable an advisor. I don't even use the word enhancement. No, I use the word enable. All right. That has to do with Samuel's question. In future, what is the work, that kind of situation?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, at this point in time, maybe I also don't know, because it's 15 years down the road. We can't envision that. Exactly. But the thing is, let's go back to my last night conversation with this lady, this master student. I said that, can you go and research a little bit, see how technology can enable an advisor? The difference between enabling and enhance is what? Enhancement means this is an existing processes. You make some incremental improvement of an existing process. That's enhancement. Incremental improvement.
Yep.
But I said that, hey, let's throw that one side. Use technology that enable a financial advisor to do something right now he cannot do. There's something could be deepening a client relationship or opening an entire market that he never believed he able to be able to have developed that kind of market. That's quite enabling.
The word enabling is also let me put it this way. You need to stay ahead of this line of relevance. Am I right?
Yes, correct. So yes, therefore we got to go down to the processes. As a financial advisor, how you onboard the client, how do you manage the client situation until the client exit
But
in
first
which I believe HQ.
But before you even get into that, you need to make a projection, right? With the understanding of today's technology.
Yes.
The projection of how that impact consumers' expectation, right? And how they do things, okay?
Correct.
The research today is this, right? And it's done by banks, at least in Australia, I found out, right? All millennials prefer to do all these preliminary, fact finding for financial planning, even with an AI.
Yes.
More than 50%. Yes, today we are talking about today. And this trend is going to change, right? And I went through a process yesterday only. In less than half an hour, the whole process is done. Recommendation came out. And I walk away with two things that I don't think I will forget, even if you ask me 1 month later, 3 months later. The reason is because it is so simple, right? I told you just now, number one, reduce my spending by 10%. It's very specific, reduce by 10%, right? And then the other thing that is high in my consciousness now is that I might need to extend my work for another 2 years. It's not complex. It's not like a report that I will forget the next day. It's just two simple things that dominates my consciousness right now. Right? That was the takeaway. So I think you're right. So it's really about really understanding the technology and the impact and then make a projection, right?
Correct.
When you can project the next 3 to 5 years, then work backwards and find out, hey, so now how? We talk about enabling, right? Enabling was what? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very, very important thing right now. I think it's urgent actually. Yeah.
Yes. But therefore, we cannot be academic about this. No. In fact, my parting statement to that student is that, hey, you better don't do this as an academic subject because people will fall asleep. You do this with so much impact. Besides earning a master degree, you make it that you provide certain insights. Certain insight for my industry. Let us have the report. Or if you wanted to commercialize it, make it if the insight is relevant, I believe insurance company or whoever who wanted to engage your services. Now, and the reason why, because I'm very close with this particular university, I always wanted the university to be more closely linked with the industry, you see, based on my position. All right. So I'm responding to my calling as a education head for the association. Right. So this enabling part, just give you an example like myself. What do I enable? You see, I express myself a lot in estate planning and plan giving market. All right. Now, how technology can enable me? I'll give you an example. Now, I can have a huge insurance policy coupled with a will and a trust, all the estate planning document into one file for the particular client. Then I run through the scenario. If you die tonight, this capital is being paid out, hold in the trust for the children and whatsoever. Can I do something further? Meaning to say to us, hey sir, if you die, when you die, every year, your wife's birthday, she will receive a bouquet of flowers until she passes away. And that bouquet of flowers is sent by you, financed by what? By the estate that you left behind. We will ensure that the trust fund has got sufficient to do that thing. Over and above, of course, give your wife a relatively comfortable living. All right, like every year 10,000. No, sorry, every month 10,000 or every month 5,000. Over and above, every year your wife's birthday, she will receive a bouquet of flowers. Or your son's birthday will receive a gift, say from father.
Yeah, maybe attach.
Now, but after you died, after you died, now I have to rely on technology. I cannot say I will be around. I am not young. I'm 51 years old. So when you die, probably I also be dying. So therefore, I rely on artificial AI or some sort of technology that can imbue that when this particular client say, assuming his name is Peter, Peter died. Subsequently, every year, the wife's birthday or the son's or daughter's birthday, there's something that could be sent to the house. As simple as that.
Someone, a system or an entity.
Yes, a system.
Custodian of these wishes.
Yes, a system.
Yeah.
If I can have a technology, it will be good.
Yeah.
I think it can be done. That means to say that right now, Alan Lim, what's a value proposition? What's a specific deliverables I can give to the client? I can say, okay, you got an estate plan. They come with insurance plan with a scheduled asset. And as well as I will run through the whole process. No, when you die, these processes will start to trigger off. Will not trigger off. And this whole thing is a package. Then this whole thing, all right, can be built into one whole in a certain pricings can be priced onto it. Certain pricing can be priced onto it. Then people will come to me as well. Oh, actually, I wanted to have this service. Not only I got the insurance policy, not only I got the estate planning done, I also got a post-estate planning that's being purchased. But this formalized by a contract to ensure that it will be carried out. If there's a breaches of contract, my company or my business entity will be held responsible for. All right. But the execution, I need technology. And that enable me. Right now, there isn't. I'm still thinking of how to do it. But right now, because of lack of technology, that particular idea is difficult to implement, but it's not impossible. I use the word difficult, but it's not impossible. Just one example. All right. Another example is this conversation we have with HQ. Yes.
Whether we
can. That's called enable. We call it enable. Yeah. The other thing is that this conversation that we have with HQ with Samuel, you always wanted to have the database of the knowledge inventorized, what deposit somewhere. That means to say that if you are a financial advisor, you wanted to overnight to have some sort of a think tank behind you. But it takes years to build. You need to meet specific people to believe in you, to be associated with you. You might not have the financial capability. But right now, HQ have got this future system that enable you. You could be just a brand new agent or advisor. Wow, you can have very solid some sort of insight from your some database that's tastefully being sent to your client strategically. All right. And the ultimate purpose is to convert your client into your advocate on serious touch point.
Yeah.
That's this system enable you to do that. Otherwise, you cannot. It's not an enhancement. It's not an enhancement of your existing system in what you have to make it slightly better.
It could be a totally different thing altogether.
Yes.
Some of which would not have been imagined, right?
Yes. Therefore, as a new advisor, that gives you confidence to go towards high level market because you got a think tank behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have this part here. That's enable.
I think the gap in the market that I'm seeing, right? Okay. If you want to use a certain index to see what is the health of the market, I'm not talking about production. Production is very healthy. Okay. I'm talking about, client relationship health. Okay. Client relationship health. You look at the repurchase rate is one of the index. You can almost call it like an index. Okay.
Yeah.
Because inside that number contains a lot of stories. Okay.
Yes.
Now, in the last 10, 15 years, the industry have been beefed up with knowledge. And that's what, remember years ago when I talked to you, right? I said this, right? I said this to some of the top brains, right? Practitioners with very good knowledge. I say that the solution is not training. You have been trained one, right? You compare the number of people that have got CFP, CHFC in their name card today versus 10 years ago is a very different number. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
But having this knowledge and being able to be on the ground to actually apply it, right, in the market, but that application means that the consumers will then start to benefit from it.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So beefing up the knowledge is actually an important part, right? But what we hope to do, and this is why we collaborate with you, right, is to find a way whereby execution can be done.
Yes.
Carry out by those people, those very aspiring financial planners that bother to come and attend all these classes and look at all these videos and all that, right? Find a way to help them to be able to execute it on the ground and in a way that is sustainable, right? So I think moving forward, So this is one of the things that you talk about, right? Enabling, right? And then for
It's
us, is to
enable.
find
Yeah.
what is it we want to enable, right?
Yeah. In order to enable the equation is very simple. Knowledge plus systems. Now I just take a little example. Now my first career is a soldier, so I use military as an example. You take a look at the United States Armed Forces or the Israeli Armed Forces or the Israeli Air Force. These two are the top armed forces that you don't want to mess around with. Why make them perpetually so strong? Number one, they got knowledge. But the thing that they really made them very strong is actually they got systems. They got systems of what to follow up, how to organize things, what button to press, how to foresee the future at every touch point. Now, in order to build
contingency systems and all that sort of stuff,
they got a system. Now you take a look all those another group, all those armed forces that run by the tribe one. They like to pop up somewhere and then just shoot you, just disappear, that kind of situation. Now those are highly disorganized. All right, they can be deadly sometimes, but in the long thing, this one they should lose. So it's the same thing for financial advisor. Now, to study CHFE is important. I don't want to discount the fact that it's not important. It is important.
Yeah, it is.
All right. You don't want to go to a surgery table. The doctor tell you, hey, trust me. I got a lot of experience, but I have not passed medical school. I don't think you want that situation to happen. All right. So to have a basic knowledge of CHFC and CFP is very important. Now, I take this opportunity to caution everybody. CHFC and CFP are basic qualification you ought to have.
Yeah, it's the entry point.
Yes, and it's not the ultimate point. So those who got CHFC, CFP, you cannot be so proud of yourself. Say, "Wow, I'm the king of the world. All must listen to me." It's not. It's just basic. It's just basic only. All right. So to get you in how to go further, you need to have a system. And what's a system? Means the system must allow you to scale up in a reasonable framework of time. I say 7 years, 10 years, 15 years. That you can produce a result consistent one. The output is consistently produced by you one. That's the situation. So therefore, to have a system, all right, you need the use of technology. You can't be personally everything personal service, personally do or what. Unless you can tell me that you can name it the brand of a watch gets more than 24 hours. All right. All of us got 24 hours. We need to spend time with our family, spend time with our wife before they scold us for spending too much time in work. The children, to see your children grow up. These are the things that you want to spend time on. But yes, again, you need to have a system. But if as a financial advisor, you run it as your own business, you got knowledge, but you got no system. Then you will find that you will go into a default system, which is what the system your company tell you to do. Which is go to what sales builder. Everything about figure one. That's part here. Now because you got no system, and therefore you will be subjected to a system imposed onto you. You got no choice, no system. All right. So sometimes as an advisor, sometimes you feel emptiness inside your heart. You can be a very good producer. But every year, 1st of January, got to build the whole thing all over again. You feel empty inside. Sometimes you feel fearful inside. Sometimes you feel insecure inside.
I think that is a lot, right? And
yes.
In the last year, I actually, for a long time, I always thought that, I told leaders this, I say, I always thought that the biggest problem with the industry is prospecting.
Yes.
Right. I've been saying that. Actually, it's not, right? The biggest problem in the industry with advisor is self-esteem. Let's be real about this. It is what you say, right? Now, will you feel good? Will you feel good? Right? If you open up a client, right, and then you didn't stay in touch with this client for 1 year, and then we talk about going back for annual review. Yeah, theoretically, everybody agrees we need to go back. But you ask an advisor to go back for annual review to a client that they have stopped contacting for 2 years. Right? We have real data. We ran,
correct.
Full system, an annual review system, right? With one of the groups, which group it is, we don't mention the name, right? The manager running the system, right? Tell me, okay, that when the 30 appointees actually called up the client, right? Some of them were so upset, furious, okay, that even flowery language came out. When you say flowery language, you know what I mean. Right?
Yep.
I was surprised when I heard that, because the agent that I know, I thought is a good agent, right? And when I heard that, I was taken aback,
Yep.
But guess what? That's a real data. That
I
is
agree with that.
real data. Now,
Yes.
how do you become a proud financial planner if you are forced to open cases all the time, but at the back, every case you open is going to lead to a disappointment because we don't have a system to them to stay in touch with them.
Yes.
And to fulfill the promise that life financial planning is a lifelong process with you. We say that the client like it, but can we actually keep up with that promise is another question, right? But anyway, so much about systems. Okay, let's move on. And we know today that you have prepared a case study with us, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And again, I want to take this opportunity to share with everybody. Okay. Now, I've always placed a lot of weightage, right, in the area of estate planning, right. I have my personal stories to tell. I will leave that for another day. Okay. But the thing is this, we sell a product, right? We tell the person in the event of death, this is the kind of money you need, right? Because you want it for your wife, right? You have 2 young children. You want them to be supported up to age 25. And maybe up to age 30, like this guy want to be a PhD, right? Now, then something happened to you, right? Yesterday passed away, right? A couple of $1 million goes to your family, right? And we have heard stories about how this money is being spent in 3 years, right? Just talk to the retirees that have contributed to the GDP of Batam. You know what I mean? Those a lot of people I know about, right? They contributed hundreds of thousands, right, of their lifelong gratuity and savings, right, pension, right, to Batam. So all these things are possible, which means that actually the plan that we have, right, and I'm concerned, you know why not? Because I work hard, right? I don't want to spend 2 years of my life working hard for my daughter's future husband that might leave her. Right? So the management of money beyond that policy that we just closed, right, becomes an area that I'm speaking as a consumer. Okay, I'm interested in. Right? And so the topic of estate planning and all that is an important one, right? And I believe increasingly important, right? Because the consumers these days are also very well educated. Okay.
Yes, correct. Yes.
So let me not take away the thunder from Alan. Okay. So Alan, I had a case study. Yeah. So over to you. Very happy to be able to go through this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, can. I need to share screen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So okay. Now when Samuel asked me about the case study, now I thought I'd just share something that I'm going to present to the Community Foundation of Singapore, which recently they invited me to write an article, write a short paragraph for them. And then they asked me one question about what is the role of financial advisor in plan giving. I felt that financial advisor can do
this organization more. Once again.
Community Foundation of Singapore, CFS.
Community
Foundation of Singapore. It's actually a governmental setup, right?
But then they ask you specifically about plan giving.
Oh yes, correct. Because plan giving usually is in the realm of the legal and the legal fraternity, as well as the person who want to give. I think otherwise. I think financial advisors will role as there are 3 pillars in plan giving now: the legal aspect, the financial planning aspect, as well as the donor, the person wanted to give. Now, how do I come into plan giving? Let me explain to you what plan giving and why financial advisors need to know this part here. And this specific knowledge here is an enabling knowledge. As I mentioned, enabling meaning you are able to do certain things you thought you cannot do. They will give you explanation result. It's not just enhancement of existing processes. When we talk about estate planning, I think estate planning is quite an overused word. Now everybody wants to aspire to be an estate planner. I mean, I just wish all these financial advisors good luck. All right. Hope that you don't end up as a postman just for the estate planning lawyer or professional. I sincerely hope that financial advisor can make serious revenue out of it.
We actually mentioned this, right?
Yes.
Do a segment about why
Mm.
financial advisors should be really proud of their position, but
Yes.
you can't be proud unless you know, right, what kind of position you can actually be in, what role you can play in this entire conversation, right?
Yes, correct. So plan giving is what? Plan giving is a dimension of estate planning. A very important dimension of estate planning. Estate planning talk about the death, the impact of death on the client. But my question to you, what is after that? What is after that? Your client actually died. The policy pay out. All right, the estate, the property, the company share actually being called in and distributed by the executor, or pour into a trust to make it a little more fanciful. But what's after that? All right. After that is a very important question. No? Just now, Sammy also point out, you give this sum of money, the guy spend it within 3 years at that kind of situation. Now, I want to be very mindful. We are financial advisor. We are not a lawyer, neither are we a social worker. Be proud of being a financial advisor. Being able to identify all these situations where the financial advisor can play a very important role, or I dare say the role that no other people can do. Now, what is plan giving? Plan giving is a deliberate estate planning strategy that prepare you to leave your assets after death to express your love. All right, to a particular person or to support a cause you believe in. Sometimes the newspaper or the journal, they like to use the word legacy planning. But personally, I find the word legacy does not really bring out the meaning. The private banking side like to talk about philanthropic planning. I find that word
a bit too big and not specific enough. Right?
No, that word also does not represent the meaning that I want to do. The meaning is what? The meaning is express your love. To express your love. Can be to that particular person, not convenient to be known by your current family. Can be the particular cause that you strongly believe in. So it's more than charitable giving, it's more than one. Yeah. That's a part. I'll show some case study what I mean. And of course, being case study, we learn what's a cock up, or what can cock up. Okay. You take a look at this part here. Okay. Since I have a conversation, I got nobody to volunteer. I can only volunteer Samuel. So you got no choice. Come, Samuel. Okay, you take a look at this two article. NUS NTU get 3.5 million from late accountant. And the article on your right, this madam, the madam actually she passed away. All right, she leaves 3.4 million to charity, 32,000 to children. So my discussion point, what common point do you find in above example of plan giving? Both they are giving. One give to NUS and NTU. The other one give to their charity is actually NKF. The old NKF. Because the article was 2003. Now come Samuel. What so common denominator?
These two cases are same, am I right now? Are they same?
Oh, different.
All different cases. I see.
Different.
Oh, okay.
This one. What is a common denominator?
Common denominator, a very huge amount.
Yes. Wow, very sharp, man. Very sharp. Huge amount. You take a look at the lady, that madam, very good. She leave 3.4 million to 32,000 to the children. You do a calculation, I think she leave more than 90% of her estate to a charity, Her family members get probably about 10% or even less than that. The amount given is huge, right? Does it not require some financial planning thoughts in it before the donor makes a decision? Now, what is the accent of my statement to CFS? Is that ladies, CFS, most of the leadership are ladies, including the CEO. Say ladies, be careful about your keep promoting the plan giving. Very good. I will support you. But as a financial advisor, I want to tell the legal fraternity, I want to tell the donor also. And I also want to highlight to CFS in a very positive way. Those can come up very strongly as I express it. When you want to do plan giving, you must ensure that you never compromise the financial security of your own family. I repeat.
In this case, right, my first impression, the first question that will come to me is this, right? And again, this is the case of what you mentioned in the past sessions that we have, right? What kind of advisor does a person have around them becomes very important.
Oh, yes,
Am I right?
Yes, of course.
If this madam have got a trusted advisor,
Yes.
my question is that who actually advised her to give 3.4 million to the charity? Is it people from the charity that come and talk to an old lady to tell them that, the kind of problems they are trying to solve and all that kind of thing that make her, make that decision, right? And then the next question, did she have advisors around her before she actually put ink to paper?
Answer is we do not know because she passed away already. Now the thing is, I am not saying that she in this case she is very good. This is very good. In this case, her children never disputed the mother's decision. The children actually enforced in the mother's decision. Very good. But if is every case like this, what if the children is in need of inheritance?
Yeah. So in this case, maybe the children are very well to do and they don't need.
Yes. Now I don't want to dispute the fact that this madam she did a very solid thing, and the son is a very solid person. They enforce the mother's wish. All I want to mention is that as a financial advisor, I always say 1,001 times, we can never divorce away from what's actually happening on the ground. I'm going to show you one cock-up case. All right. The case is like this. You take a look at this part here. This is an example of a plan giving case that went haywire. Horribly wrong. The case of Lucky Tan. Now, who is Lucky Tan? Lucky Tan used to be a very successful businessman, run a tour agency. In those days, there's no internet yet. So a tour agency make good money. All right. He was also a kidney patient. So he felt NKF at the point in time treat him very well. He felt indebted to NKF. He wanted to do a plan giving to NKF. Now, which is nothing wrong. The intention is good. But the issue here is what? Lucky Tan decided to write in his will that half of his house, which is at Kovan, the landed property, half of it goes to NKF. Now, now he wrote in that in his will, and actually he passed away. And NKF come and ask for the house, the house of the house. And that madam that you see on the screen, she is the first wife. Now, Lucky Tan has got 3 wives. Now, in those days, they are able to have 3 wives on. So he actually has got 3 wives. So this is the eldest wife. She actually stays inside the house.
Right.
She does not know that her husband wrote that will. So she doesn't know. Now she doesn't know. Now, Samuel, now I counter ask you, assuming you are this lady, what would you do? People come and take away your house. You got nowhere to stay. What would you do? No, Samuel, what is your natural
Obviously you're surprised, you're upset, you're shocked, right?
Yes.
And then,
yes. Hey, we're talking about very serious thing about whether you've got a roof over your head. In this situation, the Lucky Tan take a plan giving intention and cause the financial security of his widow to be severely
affected.
Or affected. This is not right. But the point, the background story is this. Lucky Tan, before he passes away, his family, his relationship with his children, or from this wife, goes sour, become very, very sour, very bad. So from the facts that you've seen, probably he uses plan giving as a way to take revenge, which is very bad. Now, the situation here right now, because this is a case study for financial advisor, let's throw out some financial planning principle or estate planning principle so all can learn better and be better advisor. Now, Samuel, I want to ask you, this house is held in joint tenancy. It's held in joint tenancy. Okay? It's fully paid. It's joint tenancy. Now, when Mr. Lucky Tan write that house, half the house to be given to NKF inside the will, is that clause valid? Is that clause valid? The house is in joint tenancy.
I think the joint tenancy will take precedence, right? By right, just go to the wife when he
correct. I think all the audience, if you got certain estate planning background, you will challenge me. Hey, Alan, I think you're talking nonsense. No, joint tenancy, how can that happen? But let me tell you what the Lucky Tan did. Lucky Tan did unilateral surveillance of the joint tenancy before he wrote the will. Now I throw back the question to Samuel as a case study. Samuel, when a house in Singapore is hold under joint tenancy, can one party surveil their joint tenancy into the tenancy in common? Can he do that? Can he surveil it? Change from joint tenancy to tenancy in common.
My default thinking is that it should be agreed by both parties. Cannot be done unilaterally.
Yes. Samuel got it right. Should be agreed by both parties, ma.
But it wasn't.
But let me tell you, in Singapore situation, there's a law in Section 53 of the Land Titles Act that says that one party can unilaterally sever the joint tenancy, without the consent of the other party, But the other party will be notified. The other party will be notified. Notify only. Consent not needed, no. Consent not needed, no. Notify only, no.
Okay.
But the rule, you got to understand in deeper detail as a financial advisor. If you want to invoke that rule, or when you want to try out with your own house with your wife, tonight you say you want to test whether Alan says correct, you can try. But if you evoke the rule, it will convert your joint tenancy into a 50-50 tenancy in common.
Tenancy in common, yeah.
You can't say that, hey, Alan, I paid 90% of the house, no. So I want unilaterally to cut the joint tenancy 90-10%. Cannot. If you want that to happen, both parties must agree. You want unilaterally one, the other party no need to agree one. Is 50-50. Whether you pay the house in full or what is not relevant one.
That means you're saying that I can do that, right?
Yes.
Change it to tenancy in common.
Yes.
Is it provided that I have paid 50% and
no need. You don't need to pay anything. So that the moment you evoke the rule, all right, even if you pay less than that, more than that, all right, it will be 50-50%. It will be 50-50%. Now, whether is it fair or not, this one is your take already. It's going to be 50-50. Because what's the benefit?
There's actually a law like that can allow that to happen.
Yes.
Then my next question to you will be this, all right? Yes, my next question to you will be this, okay? Well, I think maybe okay. Okay. Let me just frame it this way, right? My daughter is, let's say I don't stop by my daughter, of course. I love her, right?
Yes, of course you do.
Let's say she has a property with, she has a property with a husband. Okay,
yes, correct.
And then it's joint tenancy, right?
Yes, correct.
In this case, the husband, right, can by on his own, right, invoke this law, and then change the whole thing to tenancy in common.
Yes.
Maybe this house was inherited because I passed it to her. You know what I mean?
Yes. You've and I add deeper pain into your wound. You pay for it 100%.
Absolutely, that's what I'm trying to say, right? That is why I shared earlier, right? If this kind of estate planning issues are not looked into, a lot of people they may be working 2-3 years very hard for the state or for people that they do not know yet. No,
yes, of course.
After the fact, so
yes, of course.
So it's definitely very undesirable, right? So my question to you is then how can this be prevented?
Oh, wait. Okay, got to see the bigger picture, the bigger picture. How can it be prevented? Now, doesn't mean that the other party is in the dark, The other party will be notified by also an equally important letter, legal letter that henceforth your house has been converted from a joint tenancy to tenancy in common. So assuming your daughter married a man who has the intention to use the marriage as a financial planning, meaning to say he married your daughter not because he loved your daughter. He married your daughter because your daughter got a lot of assets.
Yeah.
Right. Now we restrict our discussion to property. Property. Let's assume this property. So he married and then your daughter loved him over the hill. Okay, darling, I want to put your name inside this house, joint tenancy. Okay. So joint tenancy. So joint tenancy after that, he unilaterally severed the joint tenancy into tenancy.
First mistake actually technically, right? So you say prevention. My daughter really need to know this.
Yeah,
if you add his name into the house as joint tenant, actually, first mistake already. Am I right?
Yeah, of course.
Nothing to stop him from changing it to.
But Samuel, let me just off track a little bit, but it's relevant. It's very important for women, ladies who are listening to this video. Now, this has got to do with the behavioral aspect of money on a woman. Women can manage money or gut money most of the time better than the man. But if ever this man steals her heart, she will give everything. I repeat. If ever this man steals her heart, she will be blinded by logic and gives everything.
Blinded by
So,
love, lah, right? Lost the
yes,
logic.
yes. That's why we read in the newspaper. Hey, how come this accountant, lady accountant, she got money, then she can get scammed by the Nigerian person using the internet, can scam her 100,000, 200,000. Because
you're right.
her heart has been stolen.
Yes.
And this is a weakness for lady, you know. If you don't have a financial advisor to confide with, to discuss bounce the idea like that, somebody you trusted one. You'll be blinded by love, you can give everything. That's a problem. That's a situation. But that's maybe another topic we talk another time. Now,
to me, interesting thing is this, right?
Yes,
the more we talk, the more we identify reasons.
Yes.
Why everybody should have a trusted financial advisor?
Yes, of course.
A knowledgeable financial advisor.
Yes.
Beside them as an asset, it's an asset because you walk through life, you're going to face with all kinds of situations like that.
Yes.
Anything to do with money, first thing first, talk to the financial advisor first, right? At least clear up the head first, right? Before decisions is made.
You need advisor.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to have an advisor who is not related to him or her.
Yeah.
I repeat that statement now. Every person needs to have a financial advisor who is not related to him or her. That includes a financial advisor listening here, no? You're a financial advisor. Do you have a financial advisor to help you to see your blind spots? Or do you buy a policy, do all by yourself because you think you're the TOT producer, you don't need advisor from some other thing? Do you have that? If you don't have, I say that I dare use the word, you're a little bit naive. I know I say this, so I will offend a lot of people. Because some of you are TOT producer, or what you say, hey, who are you to say this? I repeat again. If you don't have an advisor that's outside you to help you see your blind spots, sometimes the blind spot will hit you hard. But sometimes you got no time to U-turn because you're dead or you lost mental capacity. Some part of your loved one will be simply excluded out of your estate, as simple as possible. As simple as that. All right. Let's be very blunt on that. Okay. I know I could offend quite a few people when I say that. But
I think it's really a very practical thing, right? Seriously, because when we grow older, right, we can be blinded by a lot of things, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes. You know, your net worth suddenly become 20 million, right?
Yes.
You may think that you're sitting at the top of the hill, right? But it's not just that. As we grow older, our cognitive capability might be not as the same, right?
Yes.
Right? So having the advisor to always bounce thoughts with is always important. It's even more important as we grow older.
Yes. I did it for myself. No? Do I buy policy on my own? Of course I do. Do I got policy I bought from other agent? Yes, God. Not just support, no. It is for the advisor to, you got to help to see where's my blind spot is. No? Now, that product could also be, I also got a licensed agent code to transact one, but I choose to let him transact. No. It go way above that. Well, I make sure I earn every single cent. Okay, you go way above. Let's be very mature about this. All right. Okay, come. Let's go back to this case. This part here.
Yep.
So Lucky Tan is able to will away his joint tenancy house because in the law firm when he prepared his will, he also signed a deed to sever the joint tenancy. So the severing of joint tenancy letter was mailed to the first wife.
Yeah.
All right. But because due to some admin error, or rather that the secretary is supposed to post a letter today, but she posts it tomorrow, that kind of situation. So the letter arrived to this lady one day after he passed away. So yes.
So this was done just before he passed away.
Just before he passed away.
Oh, seriously?
So the letter reached her. The surveillance or joint tenancy letter actually reached her one day after he passed away, which was done.
In other words, you want to argue, you want to quarrel, so nobody to quarrel with you.
Difficult. So that's why this make NKF in a very difficult position because as they need to enforce that will, their intention, because he wrote in the will, a will become effective when you died. So the executor, you need to enforce. So enforce means what? Sell the house, take it half. And then this lady also not happy. Where can I that? You sell, then half, then where do I stay? And this lady got also her side of the story. She said that when my husband was having cash flow problem, she worked very hard to help pay for the house. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
And that's the fact. So therefore, this case study shows you in plan giving, if you don't have a financial advisor to go through certain methodology, lose for everybody. Lose for the organization, the NKF, the organization. You appear in the newspaper for the wrong reason. Now, you go to court to enforce, to collect back a debt. You go to court to want to enforce a gift. It's very important, very funny. For instance, now I want to give something to Samuel. I say, and then the whole
PR
thing
angle isn't very good.
But Samuel go to court to say, hey, I want my gift. so Samuel's friend will come and talk to him, hey, brother, hey, you go to court and ask for a gift. Very funny, man. But if I owe Samuel money, go to court because it's a debt that you need to recover.
Yeah.
But you go and recover a gift.
The PR angle is totally not
yes, it's very funny, In this part of the world, Asians, it's very funny, You don't demand a gift, Give if people want to give to you, So number one. And number two, his family lost, his family lose big time, Wow, the entire financial security of that widow is totally compromised, If I am the widow also, I fight. Hey, what is this, man? Hey, it has to do whether I got a house to stay, How can you just take away like this? So it's very difficult. But this case get a little bit more complex because the second and the third wife of that man actually stand on the side of the NKF. That say, hey, you better submit to my husband's wish to take away the house on the first wife. So there's some fighting between the three women. Okay, we laugh about it, but it sometimes can be quite serious if
it's not
if
fun
you're
at
that
all.
lady. So this is the situation that you see a situation you find that there is a lack of one important pillar. There is a legal pillar here in this plan giving, the legal side. They did the joint the severance or joint tenancy. They did the will. They did it perfectly, Professionally, they did a damn solid job, because it works.
The legal side,
Yes, the legal side it works. The lady, the giver side, in this case is the Lucky Lim. He made the intention. He want to give substantial.
The donor side.
He want to give substantial to the organization. The substantial meaning I'm not giving $50, $100. No, I am giving say 1,500,000 that kind of thing. But the financial planning side is not done. Now, what is a financial planning side? So all of us have to be proud. What's a financial planning side? It's not talking about a good intention, but that is a methodology, This is the methodology, Wait, I show them. There's a methodology one, This is a methodology, a financial advisor, a trained one, need to go through. The lawyer no need to do this, The lawyer's job is what?
So
ensure the legal
this
side.
Government agency, right, that got you in and want you to talk about this. It becomes very important for them to understand this as well, isn't it?
Of course.
Because that's why you talk about the three pillars, right?
Yes.
The financial planning, the legal, and then the donor side of things, right?
Yes, correct.
The legal side of things, right? The lawyers will their main objective basically is just whatever the client come to them, this is what I want to do. You help me get it done.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Correct.
No. They will not think about many of the other considerations from the financial planning side of things, right?
Yes. Let's give some respect to the legal side, I'm not trying to say that I am better. No. That's not my point. My point is that
they did their job.
Yes. I respect. I got many good friends in the legal side. I respect them tremendously. There are things that they can do, I cannot do. But I was saying that there are certain things that we can do. The lawyer side will not do because they don't have the RNA code. They are not trained financial advisor. So therefore, you're not trained in that. If you do it, it's like breach of your duty. You're not supposed to do this, you do this. Just like as a financial advisor, you're not supposed to give medical advice. You're not a doctor. But maybe in the past, your grandmother tell you to eat certain herbs, you get healed for your fever. That is one off. There's a personal thing. You can't use that as an advice to say that, okay, you are sick. Okay, you drink this herb, sure, okay one. Cannot, All right. So what is that role the financial advisor need to do? What is this one? You go through the fact finding on the balance sheet, the asset and the liability, number one. And number two, you run through what's the ownership structure of the asset. Okay. So therefore, the choice of assets is very important. What are the main considerations a financial advisor need to run through first? Run through first in the office. Then come out a very simple report to report to the client. Okay, how certain is a gift going to happen? Is it certain when you die? Plan giving, you're talking about when you die, death.
Yep.
Ensure that the legacy won't result in compromising own family's financial security. Now, that process, that innocent statement, supposed to be done in a very deep way by financial advisor, which is on the analysis. You go deeper way.
Yeah.
You go and calculate, okay, based on your current asset now, I assume you die. I run through, together with your insurance portfolio, do you have a sufficient capital for your family to continue to live? You cannot, as a result of your plan giving, resulted that your own family members suffer. No. That is not plan giving at all. No. Because you are not discharging your duty as a husband or as a father. No. You go and help other people. No. It's not right. No. I purposely asked Samuel just now the article. All right. That lady gives 3 over million and she leaves 32,000 for the family. Wow, we all clap. Wow, the son very good, solid. But let me throw you another angle. What if the son actually leads the money say to discharge his debts or whatever say he needs it in a very sincere way, he needs it Let's assuming that the son is a special needs son, he needs something to continue to live and he only gets 32,000 will he go and dispute? If he go and dispute lose for everybody, you see the part? And all of you here, some of you got estate planning knowledge. You all understand the existence of the Inheritance or Family Provision Act. That rule enable what the persons are the surviving spouse or children of certain age all right, to go to the court and get an order to say that out of the estate I take back some. So you result in that kind of situation. Why? Because you never go through that ensure legacy won't result in compromising own financial security. And as a financial advisor, you got to use your CHFC or CFP methodology to go and calculate. Can't value your money. If you say you don't know what to do, don't know how to do, either you go and redo your CHFC or maybe me and Samuel will think of something to add up the methodology in our depository. If you say you don't know how to do. Okay. And the other one, you think through the distribution method. Now, all these things you can't do in a roadshow. You can't do in a roadshow. No. You have to collect the facts and go back to your office and run through the scenario as a professional. No.
Scenario simulation.
Yes, of course. It takes certain man hours. It takes certain man. If you don't have a system, it might take you maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 man hours. If you have a system with technology, it could be faster. It could be faster. But I don't want to say that you got a system, you totally don't need your human brain. No, it's not like that.
No. Because the system gives you, right? I can cut down that time for you, right? I mean, these are things that I spend my time thinking about, right? I can cut down the time for you down to 10%. So what it gives you is a black box, right? Okay. But you as a financial planner need to understand the internal workings and how this number is being derived.
Yes, of course. Yes. For instance, if you are a financial advisor or Lucky Tan, after going through this one, you got to highlight to him that, hey, sir, you want to give 50% of your house. Yes, you can do it. You can survey the joint tenancy. You can do it. But your wife will be left with nothing. The money that left behind her, and right now, let me tell you, property in Singapore is very expensive. A simple HDB flat, 500,000-600,000. In fact, those of you are reading the papers, during the COVID situation, property price did not go down. Probably actually go up. Problem. This is what I mean by financial advisor. You understand the Singapore context situation. You understand the client family structure. You also have the privilege to understand the quality of the husband and wife relationship. And that's very important. That one computer cannot get. You understand the quality of your relationship with your wife.
So this is again back to the conversation, right? Okay, we are coming to the end of the session, right? What keeps me up awake at night, right? For the last many years, actually, is will financial advisors be replaced? Okay, will artificial intelligence replace financial advisors? I think the thing is this: people can accept artificial intelligence. Okay, but people will not accept artificial and empathy, okay. And this is where the human element comes into play. Am I right now? Okay. But I as a client, I wouldn't want to be spending time with a human financial planner. If this human financial planner is not someone that I can trust and respect lah, because of the knowledge,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
So guys, okay, yeah. We want to thank
Yeah lah.
Alan, right, for sharing
lah.
all this with us, right?
Okay lah.
And of course, this going through all this video is just really to give you the awareness. It's not going to make you an expert overnight. Okay. So stay tuned. One of our mission in HQ, right, headquarter, is to actually chart out this future, right, and come up with a methodology and a system so that we can help more financial advisors become relevant for this particular future, right? You need to be able not just have the knowledge, you need to be able to execute, right? And you need to be able to be that person of empathy with your clients, okay? So, okay, guys, thank you, Alan, one more time. Yeah, really appreciate all this sharing. And every time I go through this conversation with you, I really learn so much things. I actually go and share with my wife. I actually cast this, Chromecast it to the TV and sit down with my wife and watch it together, actually. Yeah.
I hope I don't get you in trouble.
Because I already know what to show, what not to show, right? But no. Okay. Generally, it has been very good learning points, right? Okay. I had 3 daughters, okay, to be concerned about, okay? And I think this is important. The only downside is that I might become very knowledgeable without the certificate. But that's okay. Okay. We really want to add value to our users and financial advisors in Singapore. That's the main purpose. So thanks once again.
Okay, again. Thank you.
And I wish all of you continue to stay safe during this difficult time.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Cheers. Ciao.
Thank you. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.